reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Have you heard? Bath Creations has moved to their new location and showroom at 8741 North Kimmel Road in Clayton. This gives you even more opportunity to see the incredible amenities and craftsmanship Bath Creation offers. With Bath Creations, you get a beautiful, modern bathroom that is safe, comfortable, and affordable. Attention first responders, veterans, and active military. Save an additional $500 off your purchase. Visit at 8741 North Kimmel Road in Clayton or online at mybathcreations.com and get a new bath today.
Some days, my active psoriatic arthritis makes it hard to get in the game. Now, the ball is in my court, thanks to treating my skin and joints with Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults.
Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
It's the Keith Byars Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, right here on Dayton's home of the Buckeyes, 1410 ESPN Radio. He's a former Buckeyes great and now a college football Hall of Famer.
Look at him go! Something was out of his shoe. He's running so fast.
And don't forget about his 13 years of NFL experience playing for the Eagles, Dolphins, Jets, and the New England Patriots.
Watch for the great block by Keith Byars on Pepper Johnson. Bam! Right there. Byars just failed.
He's Dayton's own Keith Byars. It's the Keith Byars Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken on Dayton's home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, 1410 ESPN Radio.
Welcome. You listen to the Keith Byars Radio Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. Phone number to call is 937-518-1410. You can text me also at 937-518-1410, or you can let your Twitter fingers or your X fingers do the typing at KAB41. Hey, let's sit back for the next hour and talk some sports, and hey, send a youngster out to go bring some leaves back to the office, or let him treat you, or him or her treat you to lunch. I just had me some Lee's, and it's good. I had me some nice coleslaw and mashed potatoes and gravy, and 3 pieces of chicken. It was really good. So I'm fired up. Hope you whetted your appetite. You're fired up for some good sport talk over the next hour. Well, let me tell you, what this day is a lot of days. It's a historical day for a lot of reasons. One of them, we have an eclipse. We have an eclipse today, and I know where I'll be. I'm going to be with the family, be over at the golf course over at Miami Valley Golf Club watching the eclipse. We're having a little something over there. So that's where I'll be when the eclipse comes. Which one is it? A solar eclipse? You know, I'm not, I don't know. It's a solar eclipse. I don't know how many different eclipses out there. I know there's lunar, but we got a solar eclipse. So it's coming pretty soon. But a lot to talk about. I'm going to lead with this. Now, of course, I'm going to talk about the women's championship. But it's the historical day from today is April the 8th. And 50 years ago, something really, really big happened 50 years ago. Anybody? Like the old Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Bueller? Anybody? Yes. 50 years ago. It was a Monday night. I was at home. And my family home, my mother, father, brothers and sisters. And I was in the basement watching baseball. And the Monday night game of the week, and it was between the Los Angeles Dodgers and Atlanta Braves. And Hank Aaron hit his 700th and 15th home run of Al Downing. Anybody wants to know? It was a pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and Hank Aaron hit a home run to break the home run record had been set by Babe Ruth. I don't know how many years, 40 years earlier. I think when Babe Ruth hit his 30 years earlier, when Babe Ruth hit his last home run of 714. But the new home run champ was Hank Aaron. And Hank Aaron, I remember sitting at home and it was on television. I knew it was history. I didn't know how big it was. I didn't think 50 years from that day at Monday night, I'm in a family home, I'd be on here talking about it on the radio 50 years in the future about what I saw on television that night. Just seeing, history being made. So that was I always remember, what were you doing when that happened? I can't even ask my producer what was he doing when Hank Aaron hit him 715 home run. I would probably have to ask his parents, what were they doing? And they would probably say, we wouldn't even think about Justin. He wasn't even in the thought about stage when Hank Aaron, and that Monday night in April of 1974, and Hank Aaron was up the bat and hit that home run. So, Justin, I'm going to let you off the hook. You wasn't even in the thought about stages at that point in life. But that's okay. That's okay. I was 10, by the way. I was 10 years old when Hank Aaron hit that home run. And, Hank Aaron was always one of my favorite players growing up watching. So, yeah, he would be in my all-time favorite in outfield. And just a quick side note, who's my favorite outfield of all time? It'd be Hank Aaron in left field, Willie Mays in center, and Roberto Clemente in right field. I know you're probably at home thinking about, oh, that's who you got. This is who I have. Well, text me, call me, who you think. Justin, I will put you on the spot real quick. Your all-time favorite outfield of all time. Any three players in all of baseball history. I know you're not quite ready because we need to talk about that. All baseball history, your all-time starting outfield. And I told you mine, Hank Aaron in left field. And you can't be putting people from different field. Hank Aaron in left, Willie Mays in center, Roberto Clemente in right field.
Well, my favorite outfielder, it's a random one, but Andrew Jones.
Okay. But he can't make your starting lineup.
No.
In your top three.
No.
I like that.
Just because my first team, so my grandma would always babysit us growing up. So she would always, I think I've shared the story.
Superstation.
She would always make me watch the soap operas during the day. So I was just a mad, angry kid all the time. But she goes, if you let me watch my soaps during the day, I'll let you watch, baseball at night. Fair. So we'd watch the Braves pretty much every night. So I was a huge Atlanta Braves fan growing up, even living in Texas. But yeah, I'll put a list together for you.
Okay. I know I caught you off guard.
No, I was just trying to, once we get the show up and rolling, I start diving into the Lee's famous recipe. Shout out to them because they talk about that eclipse. They hooked us up.
Yes.
Yeah, with the nice little eclipse glasses. We got our solar eclipse
glasses on. Yeah,
I shared with you a little bit.
I'm on camera. I can't see you either.
I shared with you a little bit ago. I kind of feel guilty, like I'm not like vibing the eclipse. Then, like when it happens, I'm gonna go out and take a peek, make sure you got your Lee's glasses on, of course. Yes. But like people are like nerding out over this stuff, and I'm not judging anyone that's like, but like, I mean, people taking off work. My wife works HR. She said people were taking off work like a year in advance because of this. Like this is a big deal to a lot of people. So
the scientists, they're like, this is our day to shine. Y'all got NFL, NBA, Major League Soccer, everything. When is our chance?
Well,
this is your chance.
There was a chance it could have been really rainy and cloudy today, or at least cloudy and overcast, and that's not the case. So those who are looking forward to it are going to be able to get a nice little glimpse and view of it. So but yeah, that's coming up. Awesome. So they said starts like,
is it 156 or something like that?
It starts early on at 2, but it'll be complete coverage about early in the 3 o'clock hour. I don't have the exact time, so don't hold me to that. But early in the 3 o'clock, because Kevin and I are trying to figure out how we're going to go about doing that. We're on live at 3. I mean, I do want to go take a peek. I can't say I don't care and then say, man, I don't know what to do. We're on at 3.
The radio still be working.
Yeah. So,
I was talking about my buddies this morning. He said, there's going to be a whole lot of people be blind after today. He said, because there's going to be some person not trusting it and is going to look at that with their regular eyes without any safety glasses on. No, it's only, I don't want a glimpse. I just want to see this. And said, a lot of people going to be blind. I was like, I just don't want to be one of them. So I will have my safety glasses on, and I might take a peek up at it. Even with the safety glasses on, I'm good.
So it's kind of like, I'm a fairly pale complected individual. And I always do we're at the beach or outside. Oh, it's sunny or it's cloudy out. We golf. I don't need to put sunscreen on. It's cloudy out. It's covering the sun.
Right.
I usually get burnt the worst on those cloudy covered days. So just
really?
That along. Oh yeah. You get sunburned often?
Do I get sunburned often?
I mean, look at this. I mean, that is some pale skin right there.
Skin.
I get.
But I've been sunburned 3 times to my knowledge in my life. And the first time, I was grown when I had it. I was on vacation, going through the Panama Canal. And if you ever get a chance to do that, I advise you to do it. It was just one of the natural wonders of the world. And they told us, I was on a cruise, and they said, hey, when we're going through the locks, you go up on deck, don't stay long because it's a different kind of high noon. You're right there at the equator. And it was like, stay there, drink plenty of fluids, and have suntan lotion on, but, just give it 5, 10, 15 minutes at a time, then take a break and come back. And I'm sitting around to my less melanated friends, and I was telling them, that announcement's for you. They ain't talking to me. I'm good. And then we go through the Panama Canal, and that sun was hitting. It was hot.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't until later on that evening at dinner. I was like, man, I'm so itchy. What is this? And he's like, Keith, what? You're sunburned, right? Is that what this is? I didn't know. I was sunburned, but it was like itching me. I was like burning.
It's the worst.
I said, that's what this is. I didn't think I was eligible, but I was wrong.
Yeah, I get the, half my arm. I'll get the farmer's tan going on here. My favorite tan line is the golf glove tan line. My wife hates that. My wife hates it. Like when we have to go. So usually I haven't golfed yet this year. I've usually at least got one round. I haven't golfed since November. I think you were who I golfed with last, and that was back in October, November. But my wife gets mad because if we have like big family photos or something, there was one family photo and her parents. Her parents spent a lot of money on these family photos, and I didn't think of it, but I had gone golfing a lot, and we took the pictures in the middle of summer. But I wear the golf glove, so I have a pretty, I tan pretty easily. I burn easily, but I tan. On. So I had a very pale left hand, but a very dark forearm. And like the way we're standing, like we didn't even think about it, just my very, very pale hand and my very, very dark forearm. Yes. Yeah, so
it was like,
she was so mad.
Up our picture.
Yep. The golf glove tan line is always the best.
See, my tan line used to be worse when I lived in Florida. I wore shorts all the time, and I wore the golf socks, and it looked like I was two tones. Like when you see me a pair of sandals, like wow. I like the light color is the color that my mom and daddy gave me growing up in Dayton. This Florida color is just what I got living here, because I was truly two-toned. I was way darker in Florida than I am now. So now I've been back here for a few years.
The Ohio sun doesn't impact you as much.
Not quite the same.
I get it. I hijacked the hell out of your show.
No, but that's fine. It's good. I mean, we got to talk about suntans. It's okay. It wasn't until I moved to Florida when I found out why they call people white. I was like, living in Florida, all the white folks had a tan because it's a natural thing. It's hot. Then I come back here to Ohio. I'm like, ooh, y'all really are white.
Yeah.
Geez, you haven't had no sun.
We don't see the sun. I mean, once November gets here.
Yeah.
As white people, we don't go outside for 6 months, apparently.
No, being on the golf course down in Florida, when the Northerners would come down, we're like, oh, I know you're happy to get some of this sun because it's been cold winter.
Just
and then somebody would tell the joke, is that your legs or 2 out-of-bounds steaks? Well, the white steaks on the golf course, you don't know, or steaks on the golf course are white, and, that's out of bounds. So that's where that comes from. But getting back to your regularly scheduled program, let's shout out to congratulations to the women of South Carolina. Won the national championship. Dawn Staley's second in 3 years with the South Carolina Gamecocks. What a great job. Great, undefeated. I forgot that part. Undefeated national champion. That doesn't happen very often in college basketball. Last time it happened, I think it was 2016 with UConn women that went undefeated. So Dawn Staley's first undefeated national championship team at South Carolina. Just an outstanding job by Dawn Staley, who's the head coach. And of course, the women at South Carolina, those women is just I guess you got to call them women. They're not girls. They're 18 and above. They were just outstanding all season long. Led by who? All of them. Camila Cardoso, the big center. That's one of the major storylines in this college tournament on men and women. Is a big person. The center position is back in focus, once again. And so Carmela Cardoso was a star for South Carolina, but they got a team of stars. Raven Johnson, and of course, our homegirl, Bree Hall. Bree Hall from Wayne High School was just outstanding. She's the mouthpiece for the South Carolina women's basketball team. She didn't have a lot of great individual offensive numbers, but nobody on the team needs to do that. They are a unit, and they all get it done. But Bree Hall had a great game. She was, tasked with the inevitable. First time 10 minutes into the show, I'm just now bringing up her name, Caitlin Clark. She had to guard Caitlin Clark, so that was a job in of itself, and she did a tremendous job. You got to throw bodies at Caitlin Clark. One person doesn't do it. You got to bring 3-4 different person with fresh legs to try to stay in front of Caitlin Clark. And now the Caitlin Clark part of the program. Hey, Caitlin Clark, congratulations. Great shout out, to you and your career. It goes down. Only one team is going to win their last game of the regular season, and once the tournament starts, and your team came up one game short, but Caitlin Clark finished, her collegiate career with 30 points and 18 first quarter points, which was a record that she did. But the game, I used to tell players, the game isn't over at halftime. It isn't over after the first quarter, but she ended up with 30. Job well done, just not good enough. And I always say, before we got in here, Justin and I, Cameron, were talking, hey, great teams win championships. Teams win championships, not players. If it came down to the great player winning the championship, we would probably need more than one. But, hey, Caitlin Clark, she had a great job. Just not enough dynamite on her team. I mean, she has some good teammates, no doubt. I mean, I like Hannah Stokey going to the transfer portal. Think about Columbus, Ohio. You would really look good, you and Cody McCann, playing them for the Buckeyes next year. Okay, that's that tampering, Justin, what I just did? I don't know. But I would love to see Hannah Stokey transfer, go to Porter, go to the Buckeyes. Since she's got a tremendous career ahead of her. But no, Gabby Marshall, Iowa had a really good team. You have to be really good, to get to the Final Four and to get to the championship. I'm not in so much of the show to talk about how much do I want to dedicate to talk about the UConn Iowa game on Friday night. Well, let's just say this. I wouldn't be surprised if the referee has got a new vehicle that he's driving around this weekend. That was a horrible call in the semifinal game of the Final Four. Just absolute horrible call that helped propel Iowa to the championship game, against South Carolina. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, please go to your YouTube and look at the end of the Iowa-UConn game and look at that call. Justin agrees with the referee. I disagree with the referee. I'm sure Justin will talk about that on his show later on today. But horrible call on the Keith Byars show. But I don't recall a weekend where I, along with my buddies, watched this much women's basketball. I don't think I've ever had a weekend up until now. So that is a testament to the networks, the media, and that includes us, and your fans really giving the women's game what it deserves. That much of attention. Thinking Luther Vandross, give me a reason. He had a song called Give Me a Reason to Love You, to Want You Back. And so we asking the women, give us a reason to cheer for you. Well, they did. They did. I mean, it was just so many great players, not just Caitlin Clark, not just Camila Cardoso, Bree Hall, Paige Beckers. It was just a ton of Angela Reese, just a ton of great women basketball. Oh, my girl, Juju Smith. Juju Watkins from USC. the future of women's college basketball is bright, and I say it's bright as it I shouldn't say it has ever been, but it's as bright as ever been only because it's finally getting their due. Not just because we got a great basketball player now in Caitlin Clark. We've always had great basketball players in women's college basketball. Just because you're not paying attention doesn't mean it wasn't great basketball play. And I understand, and I even tweeted yesterday, hey, when are we going to talk about the team that won? And I put in parentheses, I am a Caitlin Clark fan. I am, team Caitlin Clark, but I'm also team, women's sports. I don't think there's a ton of women who aren't getting their just due as far as when the Madison Avenue and endorsements and name recognition. I think they need to, it's hard to say they need to be up there with the men, but they need to be up there with the men as far as when they qualify. Because we don't put men up there just because they're men. We put them there because they're pretty good and they're worth talking about. In the women's game, they are that person of their sport, and so they deserve the media attention and recognition, that they get. And I would still love, as far as women's sports goes, I think that Simone Biles is still under marketed. Is that such a word? I don't think she's getting it. I don't know, Justin. Is that a word or not? I don't know. Under marketing. I think she deserves way more credit than she's gotten. Because I think this is an Olympic year, and in summertime be here before you know it. And then Simone Biles she's I don't know if she's going to win a gold or not in the Olympic Games, but she doesn't need it to know how great she is. She is the greatest women's gymnast we have ever seen. And I know a lot of times, I know personally, I criticize a lot of people for recency bias. But this is a sport has nothing to do with recency bias. Simone Biles is that girl. I mean, she has her own routine. I mean, she does things that nobody else can do. Maybe they can do it in practice. They can't do it in a competition. So Simone Biles deserves that. Women's tennis, they are starting, to be on levels as far as, I love women's tennis way more than I love men's tennis. Men's tennis to me is nothing but a power game. 2 or 3 volleys and that's it. Bam, here's an ace. Where the women's tennis, you get more out of it and you get more appreciation for the game of tennis than ever before. And they deserve that. And because I'm a huge fan of Coco Gauff, but it was the Williams sisters before that, and to help elevate the game of tennis. But now women's basketball, I mean, we're at a time because they got more quality of play here at home. They don't have to go abroad, to get it. But we need to up the pay scale for our great women basketball players to keep them here, to keep them names, on the tongues, on our lips, to talk about them. Because when the WNBA season is right around the corner, correct, Justin? And we're asking a lot out of Caitlin Clark. She just went to a Final Four. Then pretty long. She's going to be playing for what's the Indiana's name? Fever, the Indiana Fever. And so she's got and then the Olympics is coming up. Is she going to be an Olympian? She got a lot of basketball to play over the next 6 months before it's, we're asking an awful lot, out of our women's, profession. But I'm saying, give them their claim. I was listening to the Big Ten Network this morning, and I heard that it was a writer from Des Moines Register in Iowa, and he was deifying Caitlin Clark, which I don't have a problem. You can promote your own, but he was coming off saying so much from the standpoint, almost if you're criticizing Caitlin Clark, you're jealous or you're a hater. And that's not it at all. Any great player has to be open for criticism and praise. We do that all the time in men's sports. So in women's sports, we have, as we're elevating women, you still have to be open for criticism. A critique is not the same as just hating and tearing down on somebody. We have to recognize the difference and know what the difference is. I mean, and that's part of, being who you are. You're whoever the president of the United States is, they're going to be open for a lot of criticism and they're going to get a lot of praise. That just goes with the territory. So as women's sports, become more and more in the limelight, and all I ask is for media writers to be fair and unbiased. Don't get personal. Just talk about the person on what they did on the court and the impact they're making. When you start to taking personal hits because the person didn't talk to you, didn't give you an interview, or you just don't like their persona, that's what I don't like. You have to, you got a bunch of individuals who play team sports. You can't expect everybody to be a cookie cutter. Everybody is, have their own way. You got to just give them that kind of space. When during the football season, Justin and I, we do a football pregame show every Sunday. And I'm not going to use names, but there's one gentleman, he always talks about, he's a huge Cleveland Browns fan. He loves Nick Chubb. And when Nick Chubb scores a touchdown for the Cleveland Browns, Nick Chubb is, I don't necessarily call him old school. He's just his guy. He just hands the ball to the official, shakes his hand, player's hand, and goes to the sidelines. Similar to the way Jim Brown used to do it way back in the day. Then you have other guys who score a touchdown, and, they go into their touchdown dance or their touchdown celebration. And that's just their way. There's different forms of expression. Well, the gentleman in question that we're talking about, he said he's only likes Nick Chubb's, form of expression in celebration, calls him a real American. But what does that make the other guys who score touchdowns and do touchdown dances, moonwalk, do the Michael Jackson or whatever? They're not real Americans. Their celebration way is wrong. No, we have to be open up. So I said that to say, women, there's people who handle success one way and handle success another way. So when a woman loses a big game and she's shed tears of sorrow or just disappointment, don't come down on her and calling her weak and making her, and they ain't calling her. She's hurt. I understand it. Because when guys go to a big game, lose a big game, when you see tears coming out of a guy's eyes, nobody criticizes them, the way that Angela Reese got criticized last week. I think that's just wrong. And when teams win, people celebrate in a variety of manners. Some of them do the John Cena, do you see me, you can't see me? Others are more laid back. And there's no right or wrong way of celebrating as long as you're not being disrespectful. So we have to give people space to be who they are and not make them into cookie cutters. They don't have to all be uniformity to say this is the correct way. No, you have to allow people their own form of expression. I like what Don Staley said, after the team won, qualified for the Final Four in the Elite Eight, then they won the championship game. She's like, they was trying to show her with Gatorade. She said, I like confetti. And confetti usually saved for the end, when you win it all. That's when you get the confetti most of the time. So Don Staley said, give me some confetti. And she celebrates in a different way. I was like, good. I mean, I'm whatever moves your boat as long as you're being respectful. Well, I got to go to break, and there's more to talk about on the other side. You listen to the Keith Byars radio show presented by Lee's Famous Recipes Chicken.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Did you know Chevrolet of Troy is offering savings up to $10,000 off new Chevys and the lowest prices in the area? We take pride in being your premium dealership to buy your new Chevy for the absolute lowest price, guaranteed. Over 100 brand new Chevys to choose from. Customer service is our top priority, and we make financing easy. Being a full-service, state-of-the-art premium dealership makes Chevrolet of Troy your absolute best choice. For your new Chevy, 1375 South Market Street and online at ChevroletofTroy.com.
Cordell Transportation has more advantages than ever before, including brand new equipment. That's right, plus excellent pay, benefits, and a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Apply now at CordellTransportation.com. Cordell Transportation, driven to succeed.
Update your deck and save big on your deck project. Now at Menards. Spend less time maintaining your deck and more time relaxing on it. With Ultra Deck, low-maintenance composite decking from Menards. It's easy to install, easier to maintain, and built to last. Plus, you can get free estimates fast with our deck design programs in-store and on Menards.com. Save big on Ultra Deck and check out more great deals happening now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken has the best fast food fried chicken. Sure, it sounds like an opinion, till you hear that USA Today readers said the same thing. Get a taste of it with the Famous Favorites Variety Box, available at a great low price. With 5 hand-breaded strips and 5 pieces of crispy golden bone-in chicken, it's perfect for feeding your whole crew. Only at Lee's, famous for chicken.
Save $70 on select sets of 4 Nokian tires now through April 15th only at AAA Tire and Auto Service. Details at AAA.com/mycar.
If you need new roofing, siding or gutters, skylights or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. See Lance Roofing and Siding at their new location at 6903 Dayton Springfield Road in Enon. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722. Online at lanceroofing.com.
Sick and tired of achy joints? Dread the idea of surgery? You need to call QC Kinetics today. Hey, it's Keith Byars. Listen, the state of healthcare is always changing. The old ideals like steroids and surgery are no longer your only options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative, non-surgical, drug-free treatments that deliver lasting results. Knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain from arthritis or injury? Don't let this pain keep you from living your best life. QC Kinetics advanced state-of-the-art treatments harness and direct your body's natural ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. This is a revolutionary approach that can get you long-term relief with no downtime. Make 2024 the year you reclaim your mobility, reclaim your independence, walk and run and play and live without the danger and trauma of surgery. And without harmful drugs, call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 937-936-0325.
We see them every day. People driving using their phones. There's a sneak-a-peeker or the fast scroller who can quickly become the fender bender. The got-a-ticketer or the driver who killed someone. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
We see them every day. People driving using their phones. The sneak-a-peeker or the fast scroller who can quickly become the fender benderer, the got-a-ticketer, or the driver who killed someone. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
Urology Specialists of Ohio are here for you. Men, your good health is important to them. Their knowledge of specific male anatomy, prostate issues, and how to help in your healing is their main focus. Urology Specialists of Ohio are now accepting new patients at all locations: Beaver Creek, Springfield, Urbana, Xenia, and London. They have been in practice for over 20 years with over 80 years of experience between 5 physicians. Call today. They can schedule your appointment in a timely manner with little wait time. Online at urologyspecialistofohio.com.
Hi, Joey Beckett here at Arbogast Ford in Troy. We're making it easy to get your vehicle serviced. We offer pickup and delivery. We'll pick up your vehicle, service it, and bring it back to you. Convenient Saturday hours from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. We can also come to you and service or repair your vehicle. Call us for details. Arbogast Ford in Troy, exit 69 off of I-75. Look for the giant American flag. We'll see you soon.
Planning a project? Contact Ohio 811 at least 48 hours before you dig to stay safe and avoid costly damages. No matter the size of your project, contact Ohio 811 for every dig, every time.
It's the Keith Byars Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, right here on Dayton's home of the Buckeyes, 1410 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back. You listen to the Keith Byars Radio Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. There's a Lee's near you. Just look at the stoplight. There's one right over there to the left. Be careful. Put your blinkers on. Hey, turn over there. Get some. Hey, Lee's is very, very good. But it goes down really good on a Monday. This is Eclipse Monday. We got an eclipse today. And also, this is the Monday that Hank Aaron 50 years ago hit the 715 home runs before he ended up with 755. You know, I was like, okay. That was a record I never wanted to break. I love baseball growing up. It was one day hoping to play center field for the Pittsburgh Pirates. But college football got in the way. Man, but I did see Dave Parker a couple of weeks ago, and I reminded him that, Dave, you know, every time I see you, you know, I planned on playing center field. I was going to take Omar Marino's job. He could have stayed on the team, but I wanted to play center field. Me and center field and Dave Parker and right. Parker said, yeah, as long as we didn't run into each other. I'm like, ooh, what kind of collision would have been? I said, but no, we both would have been good. You didn't communicate it. I'd have told you I got it unless you called me off, but I'm the center fielder. I get final say. I'm the quarterback at the outfield. All right, anyway. Guys, today is the end of college basketball season. Comes to a conclusion. We talked so much about the women's game. We forgot the men did have a tournament too. This is probably the first time in history we've talked more about, I mean, not just on this show, but on any show, women have dominated the NCAA tournament talk more so than the men. And rightfully so. They better storylines. It's just really good, but that takes nothing away. From UConn against Purdue tonight, we got the Big East against the Big Ten. Oh, come on, Purdue. You're going to represent the Big Ten? The Buckeyes been doing it for so long. Go let somebody else carry the water. I hear you Michigan people out there. This your one time y'all finally done something for the conference. About time. First time you won a bowl game. But nonetheless, Purdue, hey, the Big Ten is counting on you. I don't know if I can count on you, but who am I cheering for tonight? UConn to go back to back, or Purdue to get there first? All right, I'll show my Big Ten allegiance. Let's go Purdue. Let's go big fella. Let's go Edey, Zach Edey. Hey, this is games coming down to the battle of the big man. The big man from UConn, I forgot his name, Justin. What's his name? The big center. Doesn't matter. Big center for UConn against Zach Edey for Purdue. You know, who's going to outplay who? I mean, Zach Edey on Saturday, he had a barbecue chicken to eat against North Carolina State. You know, I think the BJ Burns, the story came to an end. He had no answers, you know, for Zach Edey. Edey was like, man, this is barbecue chicken all day long. I could wear this guy out, and he did. And so, does Zach Edey officially win College Basketball Player of the Year for the men? I think he did. We'll see tonight. You know, you got two top-seeded teams going against each other. I mean, they've I think this is the first championship team game in a long time where both teams have pretty much walked their way through the tournament. You know, they got the biggest point difference in any team finalists in history in the last 15, 20 years. So, UConn, will they continue their march through the tournament tonight at 9:30? Or will it be the Purdue Boilermakers, my son, alma mater? We will see. Who do you have? I already told you I'm going with Purdue. The offensive line coach used to call him Pardue. So when I was at Ohio State, he's called him, we playing Pardue. So, yeah. So I'm going Purdue tonight. But other news in college men's basketball, John Calipari, University of Kentucky ex-coach, headed to Arkansas. Now, can you think of a coach in the last 25 years have done less with all that talent? All that done, he has so much more. He had more talent than any coach in the last 20 years, but he's done less with it. Yet, sounds like he's going into the portal. He's going to Arkansas. He's the highest paid coach last year at $8.5 million. And he's going to get some more money, at least that and more to go to Arkansas. Last I checked, Arkansas was in the SEC. Why would he leave Kentucky to go to Arkansas? Oh, NIL? Oh, he's getting more money? Name, image, likeness? Arkansas said, we haven't done anything since Nolan Richardson left here. We want John Calipari. And I'm asking, what has John Calipari done other than get paid? He's won a national championship. But he hasn't been to a Final Four, a Sweet 16 in 5 years. With all that talent that Kentucky has, Justin was teasing me earlier about McDonald's All-Americans at South Carolina. How many McDonald's All-Americans has Kentucky had in the John Calipari era? Yet this guy, and I'm not dogging him out, I'm just saying facts. I just don't think he's that great a coach. He got a lot of people fooled. Because great coaches, they figure out a way of getting their team deeper into the tournament. Somebody like Bobby Knight. Bobby Knight did a whole lot of, great things with lesser talent. And not that his team was always less talented. He had talent out of Indiana, but he didn't always have the most talent. But he still got the most out of those guys. And so John Calipari, I don't really see him, really squeezing a lot of talent, the rest of the talent. If they're not already made players when they get to Kentucky, don't expect him to take them to the next level. And I know I tell people a lot. Not a lot. My friends, we're sitting around a campfire and having talk and discussions. I said, all great players don't find another great player until they get to college. Somebody on their equal. If sometimes you can get out of high school without finding someone on your level because you've been so much ahead of the curve when you was in 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, you're in high school, 10th, you've been the best player on the field. And then you get to college and you find out, somebody as good as me here. Wow, okay, a whole new world. That's a new reality. And so you have to take your game up another level once you get to college. Because what got you to college, they're not going to keep you to college level. Because college is tougher than high school. I remember my freshman year at Ohio State, I looked back at I grabbed a videotape and looked at some games from my senior year in high school, and it was comical to me. I thought I was so fast. Because the college game was so much faster than the high school game. I'm like, if I can go back to high school now, I had a great deal of success in high school, no doubt. I was averaging 11 and a half yards a carry. But if I go back to high school now, I think I could average 25 yards a carry. Almost everywhere I'd be a touchdown because I've improved that much as a player from my senior year in college to a freshman year in senior year in high school to my freshman year in college. I have improved. And, you want to, make those adjustments. So one thing to be a McDonald's or big All-American or parade All-American in high school. And then when you get to college, it's a whole different animal. Guys are much more mature in college than what you're playing against in high school. Because you're in high school, you're 16, 17, 18 years old, or going against some 15, 16, 17-year-olds. You get to college, now you're 18, 19, playing against 22, 23-year-old men. It's a little difference. So you have got to turn your game up. It is tougher. This weekend, I played golf, and I was sitting around afterwards, and a guy didn't know who I was, and we were sitting around talking over a cheeseburger. And he asked me, "Yeah, man, you play some ball?" I started laughing. I'm like, "Yeah, I played some ball." Like, what level? I said, "What level you want to talk about?" He was like, high school? I'm like, "Yeah, I played high school." Because he said I have some big hands. Man, you got some big hands. You play college too? Yeah, I play college too. Oh, okay. And then everybody sitting around was laughing because he didn't know who I was, which is fine. I don't care about that. And then he was like, where else did you play? Where else should you like to talk about? I said, you play pro too? That too. Wow. What position you play in the pros? Running back. Running back. I heard those guys were so much bigger and stronger and faster. I'm like, it's true. It's true. I was like, he said, you was one of those guys? Yeah, I was one of those guys. So I'm speaking from now. I wouldn't try to be braggadocious or egotistical or anything like that. Just telling the hard facts. Well, next hard fact is I got to get off the radio. That's the quickest hour in all of radio. But guys,